Hi, my name's Caitlin Henning, and I'm here to tell you why fat-free foods are actually worse for you than full-fat foods. There is a very typical stereotype with fat-free foods. Everyone sees fat-free and thinks, oh, this is so much better than full-fat, but in reality, it's not. Take this Aunt Jemima's syrup, for example. It says light on it, which means that it's reduced fat. But on the back, it says that there are 25 grams of sugar per 60 milliliters, which is a bad thing because sugar ends up turning into fat, so instead of having 0 grams of fat, there are actually 25 grams of fat in this syrup. Fat-free foods are not good for you. They should not be allowed because they add more sugar, they raise the risk of heart disease, and they lead people into not eating the fats that actually are good for you. When people take something out of their foods, like fat, they have to replace it with something else, which is most often sugar. CNN News shows that sugar and fat are both bad for you, but sugar tends to be even worse. The problem is that what we replaced fat with was sugar, and sugar may be more problematic in some ways for someone who's worried about heart disease more than fat would be, says CNN's Fareed Sakkara. Most people do not realize that there is a higher amount of sugar in their foods because they don't read the nutrition labels, which show you that there is more sugar, and sugar is not good for you. Fat-free foods don't help you lose weight or lower your risk of heart diseases, like some people may think. There was a study conducted on a group of 63 people. These people were split into two groups, one with less carbohydrates in their food and one with less fat in their food. The low-carbohydrate group lost more weight, 7.3% of total body weight, compared to the low-fat group, which lost only 4.5%, says AuthorityNutrition.com. This just shows how many people are fooled by low-fat nutrition labels and think that low-fat foods actually help you to lose weight, because most people think that it's only fat that is bad for you, and don't realize that sugar is bad too. When companies take out all of the fats in their foods, they're taking out the good fats as well as the bad fats. Some fats in foods are bad, but monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats are good for you, which lower cholesterol and reduce your risk of heart disease, says HelpGuide.org. This shows that some companies are actually increasing your risk of heart diseases by taking out some of the good fats in your foods. These good fats are the kinds of fats you sometimes need to eat, and most people don't realize that they exist or that you need to eat them at all. They think that all fats are bad for you, and that you just need to get rid of all of them by eating foods that are fat-free. Fat-free foods are not good for your health. In many ways, some fat-free foods are actually worse for you than full-fat foods can be. Fat-free foods are horrible for you because they are full of sugar instead of fat, and sugar is one of the main causes of heart disease, even more so than fat. Also, studies show that fat-free foods don't actually help you to lose weight, especially since the sugar in fat-free foods is actually very harmful and can help you to gain weight instead of losing it, since sugar turns into fat. When companies replace fats with sugar, they are taking out the horrible fats as well as the helpful fats. Fat-free foods can be eaten sometimes, but most of the time it's better to avoid them. If possible, try not to eat too many fat-free foods. Any food labels that use the words reduced fat, low fat, light, and fat-free should all be avoided. This is because of the sugar in fat-free foods. When you are reading the ingredients of your foods, make sure to take a look to see if there is not too much sugar in your foods, because sugar is very fattening. If any sugar is in your foods, make sure that what you're eating is not over 15 grams of sugar per one serving, because you're only supposed to have 28 to 32 grams of sugar per day, and 15 grams of sugar in one serving is way too much. This syrup has 25 grams of sugar in one serving, which just shows how some fat-free foods can be worse than full-fat foods.